Manager for Middle East and Japan District from ZWSOFT. It's really a privilege for me here today to represent our company, ZWSOFT, and to face all the industrial specialist professionals here today, like you, and present our innovations, how to help you innovate your design process. And let's have a walkthrough about today's agenda. First is, of course, about who we are, and then our vision for the product matrix, CAX. And what does CAD plus in my title means? That it's CAD plus industry, CAD or CAD plus collaboration, and in the end, our vision into the CAD plus artificial intelligence. But first, of course, you will be asking what CAX mean and who exactly is ZWSOFT? Perhaps ZWSOFT here is not that familiar name, but we have been very successful in the global market for more than 28 years. So ZWSOFT is actually the first company to successfully develop industrial design software in domestic China. Our company was founded in 1998, and right now, we are the largest and most successful industrial software developer for CAD, CAE, and CAM software. We have more than 2,000 employees with offices of more than 27 located in all over the world. Take an example, in Middle East, we have our office in Riyadh covering, and also the office in Dubai covering the whole region. And we have 7 research and development centers located also across the world. We have more than 1,000 partners to distribute our product and more than 1.4 million happy users. So we are not newcomers in the software, in this industry. And then with these 28 years, we have gained a very good trust from industrial customers, including the big names like Vonsi, Panasonic, and we also have very many happy customers in the Middle East district, including in Egypt, Saudi, Jordan, Dubai, UAE, etc. A little bit into our development milestone. We take no shame to say that back in 1998, our founder, Truman, was actually only a follower to develop CAD plugin. But later, with his insight in the industry and his professionality, we launched the first generation of our flagship product, ZWCAD. And over the next 20 years, we have been iterating it to be the perfect product this year. But we not only have the 2D CAD. In 2010, we acquired the American VX company and fully adapt their technology and launched our 3D product, the ZW3D. In 2021, we went listing in the Shanghai stock market and became the first company that successfully go listed in the stock market. And in 2023, we acquired the British company CHAM and launched our own computational CAE product, CFD product, Phoenix. Just last year, our office building ZW Tower was completed and we hosted the grandest partner event of all, Z-World, in our history in Guangzhou, China. So all above sounds a little bit fancy, but we are a technology-based company. That is why we attach great importance to R&D. Actually, more than 40% of our revenues goes to the product development and research. And as you see, we have 7 R&D centers, 5 cities located in China, one center located in Florida, US, and 1 center located in London, Britain. And over the years, we have developed our own technology, consisting one of the very important 3D geometry modeling canal, the Overdrive, and also our own parametric translator, the IPX, and also the ZGS constraint solvers. With this technology basis, we will be able to present the product that is in front of you today. So now comes to the concept. What is CAX? To answer that, maybe we need to go a little bit just into the history of the development of CAD. So I myself was a civil engineer before. I can totally relate to the impact of what technology brings to our works. In very early time, of course, we do the design on paper, hand drafting on the AEC paper, and then comes the 2D CAD, that we can use a CAD to do the graphic design, put text annotation. But only this is not intuitive enough, and the information is simply not enough to go through the whole workflow. So then we enter the era of 3D CAD, where you can do the solid modeling with more information. But design is not just about one discipline, not about one workflow, but about all the way from sketch to manufacture. That is why ZWSOFT is presenting the idea CAX, that is computer-aided design, computer-aided engineering, which is basically simulation, and computer-aided manufacturing, that is machining, all in one solution. With this in mind, we have developed 3 of our major product line. First is the foundation, the basis of the company, and also the most widely adapted product line, ZWCAD. Then we have our ZW3D product line covering 3D CAD and 3D CAM. In the end, our product line for computer-aided engineering for both structure analysis and computational fluid dynamics. Now, take just a closer look at our flagship product, ZWCAD. Of the 1.4 million happy users, most of them have been happily using ZWCAD for years. But what is ZWCAD? ZWCAD is a powerful general-purpose CAD solution with native DWG compatibility. But of so many CAD products in the market, you can just easily name more than 10. Why did customers choose us? We summarize, we have 4 major values to the customer that is so irresistible. First, whoever wants to switch from a previous product to a new product always care about the compatibility. That comes in many aspects. Now, for data compatibility, we are fully compatible with the DWG ecosystem as well as all the commonly used data formats in the market. And second is that for users, they don't actually need to relearn anything because the user habits, all the interfaces, all the commands are almost identical to the mainstream product. We designed it on purpose this way so that no one will have to relearn anything. And the migration, of course, the previous data can be all migrated into this software without any data loss. That is why switching to ZWCAD is so easy for the customers. But then only be able to switch easy is certainly not enough. We must have something highlight. That is actually where we take most pride in our product. We are the fastest CAD solution in the market. With the basic canal I have mentioned, and with our insight into every step of design, we have ameliorated the speed of ZWCAD to maximum. So compared to mainstream CAD product, we are at least twice as fast as them, meaning you don't need to wait for opening a huge file over 100, 200 megabits. You don't need to wait for it to move, and that saves every user, if let's count 7.5 hours a day, 1 hour in work. Just imagine how many employees you could have, and if you save them 1 hour per day, how many money you could save for a year for salary. And apart from the efficiency of being fast, we also provide a lot of features to help users adapt to the design workflow. Third is probably a unique point. We are already at the era of data, of information. The adaptation of BIM is becoming more and more popular, but that doesn't mean every user will have to purchase an expensive BIM product, will have to spend a lot of time learning to use a BIM product. Actually, many works can be done in a CAD environment. That is where we position ourselves a perfect tool to bridge the CAD and BIM workflow. ZWCAD can support most of the commonly used BIM data, import, check all its geometry shape, check all its properties, do the data extraction for the quantity takeoff, and even add new objects as a BIM object and export that to BIM data. For that, it should save you a lot of money on unnecessary purchase of complex solution. And in the end, of course, every company will care about the cost. And our solution offers very flexible licensing for you. You choose how to manage your license. If you want to do this kind of payment, it's fine, and you choose how to management in the future, no mandatory updates. So a quick summary of ZWCAT: the smooth switching, the excellent speed or efficiency, our easy participation in the CAD BIM workflow, and in the end, the software cost totally in your control is why people are trusting ZWCAT. But as marvelous as this product is, ZWCAT is only the first step of our CAX product matrix. So now let's come to our future, ZW3D. So as mentioned, ZW3D was acquired from a company called VX Tech. That was also not a startup company. In fact, the first generation of its product was launched in 1985. And after so many years after the acquisition, we have totally absorbed its technology, iterate the version, and now launch our ZW3D. The year 2026 is a special year for the company because we launched the brand new version of ZW3D. It's called Wukong. So if anybody here is familiar with Chinese culture, Wukong was a legendary figure who has bravery and power to conquer anything in his path, and that is what we position ZW3D to be. Our own developed Canal Overdrive has iterated and now equipped with enhanced parametric modeling capability and also big-scale assembly support technology. And with that, we can bring this benefit to users who do the manufacturing design, product design, all the way from sketch design, conceptual design, to manufacture. Then come back to what actually is ZW3D. ZW3D is an all-in-one computer-aided design and computer-aided manufacturing solution designed for the product development features with the fastest canal. And we also support the machining for turning to milling, 2-axis milling, 3-axis milling, and 5-axis milling. Then how does it actually reduce the cost in manufacture or design process? If we just take a very quick look about what a product, how a product was manufactured, we start, of course, from conceptual design, that is 2D sketch. From 2D sketch to 3D modeling into a small part of the solid. And tens of millions of parts sometimes need to be assembled as the final product. So this is about the CAD plot. And some of the products need to be injected as mold, so we also support the mold design. Some of the products need to be machined, then we support the CAM design, the CAM toolpath generation and output of the CNC toolpath. And also, for some of the factory manufacturer, we can directly link the 3D model to the 2D drawing. They are always synchronized. So as you can see, with one platform of ZW3D, we can cover all the way from conceptual design to assembly, to mold design, 2D drawing generation, bill of materials, of course. And then we can even do simple structural analysis and in the end send to machining. So everything done in a single platform. Imagine how much maintenance it will save you. Maintenance cost and learning cost. On ZW3D, we provide basic simulation for structure, but we know that there are always products or companies that requires higher level of simulation. That is why we also have our simulation product line, starting with ZWSync structure. ZWSync structure is a general finite element method solution for both static, dynamic, thermal, and fatigue analysis, allowing you to do more complex analysis to your products. And it's been widely adapted in various fields, including the general machinery, which is our strong point, and also some of the automobile production for sheet metal analysis, and also some of the solar panel calculation for the steel structure, even some joints of the bridges that you can use this to do the static calculation. Structure is easier to understand, but now CFD has becoming more and more important in the industry. Computational fluid dynamic. That's where our acquisition of CHAM come to serve all the customers. So as mentioned, CHAM is actually the first company in the world that developed commercially used CFD product. And over the years, it has been trusted by many of the very, very professional users, including some of the names you might seem very familiar with. AE come from Britain as a great consultancy. And CFD, maybe it sounds very high-end, but actually serves in many, many areas. Like for AEC industry, where I believe you are all professional in, it could be used in building service. For the outside, it can be used for airflow or the wind analysis, solar radiation analysis. For the inside, it can be used for HVAC design, how to calculate the heat, the air conditioning, the transition of the heat. And for the more grander environment, it can be used in urban designing, pollution spread, this kind of analysis, and also for urbanization, it can be used in water or hydraulic engineering, how to distribute water and how to calculate the pipe. So I talk about a lot of products. They are all part of the CAX product matrix of ZWSOFT. But tools, separated, are still tools. We want to introduce to you or other customers not only tools, but more streamlined workflow into the vertical industry, and with a simple, easy-to-learn platform. That is why we have the concept CAD plus industry. Over the years, apart from our platform product, which ZWCAD, ZW3D, we also have a lot of practical products for the vertical industry. You can see that from the icon. I will just take a few of them to introduce what they are. Take an example. There is always a gap between the traditional 2D floor plan building design and the now BIM building design. So what if we can provide a product that can offer much smarter workflow? For example, when you draw something, instead of lines, it can automatically be recognized as walls, beams, windows. And with the very practical workflow of designing a grid and then the components and then merge them into a 3D model and export the floor plans, this can all be done in ZWCAD architecture. Apart from the area of architecture, we also dig into the geo industry. So a traditional GIS product is difficult to learn. And because the GIS data is totally different from CAD data, that requires completely different training. And usually a GIS software is expensive. But we offer ZWCAD Geo for users to be able to manage, import, edit, and export GIS data, for example, shapefiles, GDF files, and be able to edit all the features and attributes so that they can tackle professional GIS workflow in a familiar CAD environment. That's what ZWCAD Geo brings to customers. And there is also the plant design. I think Middle East, even Egypt here, rely very largely on oil and gas industry. And for this industry, it's unavoidable that you need to face the problem of maybe building, maybe maintaining a factory or a plant. So with ZW Plan, we have the database that can ensure data consistency between the design of PID 2D and the 3D plant models. And because we have our marvelous base of the ZWCAD platform, we can handle huge scales of plant, including millions of assembly parts. And also we offer the project management that can allow multi-user collaboration design. And we have the major piping and fitting standard like the GB and ASME. I believe ASME is quite commonly used in oil and gas industry here. Take aside some of the heavy application for vertical industry, we also have two of the very interesting plugins onto ZWCAD. One is a vectorization tool that can vectorize whatever image you have, for example, a scan copy of your old drawing, and put that into editable vector data in the CAD environment. And two is a point cloud assistant that allows you to import high precision, huge scale point cloud file of whatever scan building and make efficient editing, generate floor plans, conduct flatness analysis, all this works. But how do they actually come into useful in the design? Egypt is a country of great cultural heritage, and I imagine the preservation of all your buildings, historic heritage are quite important. Just like in other areas, for example, Europe, we need a renovation of the city, then we need to scan the things. So we now present our ZWCAD survey solution dedicated for surveyors who need to scan the city, scan the street, scan the old buildings, cultural heritage, make them digitalized, and make renovation and design. That consists of our point cloud system plugin, vectorization tool, and some of the eco-partners application that has been proven very useful for the works in both land survey and architectural survey. Finally, we have a solution to easily adapt in a CAD environment to do the city renovation. So we have much more in the vertical industry solutions here, but I want to bring you to another concept. Solution, product, tool is nothing without collaboration. And we know that in a BIM environment, people can collaborate with very good information. But what about the users who still use CAD for convenience? We believe these benefits should also be adapted to CAD users. This is why we are now presenting the ZWCAD2026, which brings the values of both enterprise data asset management and real-time cloud-based collaboration. The structure might seem a little difficult to understand, but it's actually quite easy. Instead of conducting your CAD design workflow in the traditional local file, local collaboration, for example, I draw the first draft of the drawing, print it out, go to my supervisor, get a review on the paper, and get back audit the CAD data. Instead of that, everything will be central with a cloud-based CAD system where you can put all your drawing legacies data there and be able to view this data, to annotate this data from whatever terminal you have. Your PC for heavy design, your cell phone for viewing, or even just a web browser for viewing and giving annotations, internal reviews so that your designers can alter your design. Everything centers across our cloud center. And we also bring something very innovative into this market, that is what is previously only available in the BIM workflow, but now we bring simultaneous collaborative design into a CAD workflow. So since a DWG file now is on the cloud, multiple users from different disciplines can edit this drawing simultaneously, ensuring that everyone will be working on the real data. So this is our insight into CAD plus collaboration. Now, for something fancy, we all talk about AI, but how does AI really serve in engineering design? It is, of course, not like asking GPT, how do I do my floor plan design? It's not working like that. We want to find a practical way to bring it into useful scenario. So this is our blueprint for ZWSOFT artificial intelligence development. What is AI good at? They're good at doing repetitive works, recognizing patterns. So we're asking them to comprehend and generate language, graphic, behavior, and drawings. Of course, we have a complex base to achieve that, but the result is not something that is still floating in the air, but something that we have actually used in the real projects and will soon be available in the market. So now we have been adapting AI in recognizing similar patterns that is not made into blocks to help us do the very smart of part assembly in 3D, to help us plot multiple projects in the drawing, etc. So these combined are what we are now bringing to you as ZWSOFT solutions. So I guess I've been getting a little bit too excited, and if you have any more questions, please feel free to join the booth for more technical details. And we are ZWSOFT from China. So thank you very much today.